Hi folks, this is all the fruit, and today I tried 3 different Baobab Milkshake recipes. Well, Baobab, quite well known as a superfood, but also very controversial because a lot of natural habitats are being destroyed in Africa for Baobab plantations, but those fruit don't come from a Baobab plantation. They come from trees on the island of Tenerife, this in the botanical garden of the Palmetum, and this one in the city center of Santa Cruz. And I climbed both trees myself and picked the fruit myself, so no plantations were used and no natural habitats were harmed in the process. They are both of the same species. The fruit look quite different, but are of the same species, Adansonia digitata, the only baobab native to the African continent. This one is from Gambia, this one is from Senegal. And the small ones, I was told by the boss of the Palmetum that the ones in the city center taste much better than the ones in his botanic garden. At first, I had some doubts, but when I tried them, the ones from the small fruit are much better, despite the fact that I think those are some sort of out of season, not well developed fruits. Those here, as you can see, look much better. But still, they taste less good than those. They are pretty much tasteless compared to those. Well, what did I do now? Then I cracked the fruit. I extracted the dried pulp with the seeds. The pulp is powder-like. Well, almost powder-like. Here. It's completely dry. Tastes dry and sour. That's all I can say. And then I made my smoothies. Well, this was the most simple recipe. I just put this stuff together with sugar and milk into a blender and blended it. As you can see, the blender chopped up the seeds a tiny little bit, but the seeds are basically still there. The next one, I did the same as here, but after that, I put the mixture through a fine mesh. So there are still some small chopped up seeds and also chopped up fibers, because it's hard to remove all the fibers. You can see that there are fibers in here. There are some small chopped up seeds and chopped up fibers, but no big whole seeds and fibers in there. And finally here, I took this mess, put some water on top of it, kneaded it for some minutes, and then basically I was able to remove most of the pulp from the seeds. Then I strained it through a mesh and ended up with the pulp with just a couple, probably small pieces of fiber, small pieces of the rind and whatever. And then I put this together with sugar and salt into a blender. So now I'm really curious how those three will compare. I didn't measure the amount of baobab or sugar I put into the milk, so it's a little bit, well, the taste might also depend largely on how much sugar or baobab I put in there. But still, let's try them. First, let's try the most simple recipe. Basically, put the stuff together with sugar and milk into a blender and blend. Tastes like some nutty, fruity yogurt drink, more nutty than fruity. The seeds were at the bottom, but I get a couple fibers in my mouth. Not too pleasant, but okay. Also quite foamy. Maybe more milk or more water would have been okay. I think even if I added water to the milk, it would still be okay. Now, this same recipe, but after I finished blending it, I stained it through a fine mesh, through a tea sieve. Much more enjoyable when you don't have to watch out for little fibers or seeds. Yeah, tastes like some yogurt drink. Now here, where I separated the pulp from the seeds and then put it to a sieve before blending it, so you can see no chopped up little seed pieces. Here I had still the whole seeds and fibers, here chopped up seeds and fibers, and here almost no seeds and fibers. Interesting. Here I don't taste the baobab so much. I thought I put enough baobab in it, but it's a bit like, yeah, milk with a tiny bit of sweetness and sourness. Nothing too special. I think I like this one best. Well, there is definitely more sugar and more baobab here. Here, if you don't want to overdose on your sugar and baobab, this would be better. But this would be better if you really like sugar and baobab. But I think the chopped up seeds, they kind of also add something. I mean, the seeds are also edible. I think the blender just chopped a little bit at the skin of the seeds, which is quite tough. So I guess there are no pieces of the real seeds in here, but just of the skin. This stuff, maybe I should put it back in the blender with more sugar. No, I'll just leave it at that. So folks, yeah, those are 3 possible recipes what you can do with your baobab. You can also use baobab powder. Most people will not have access to baobab fruit outside of Africa, but as I said, baobab plantations are destroying natural habitats on a large scale, so be careful about it. Maybe don't make baobab powder your daily superfood. Apart from that, stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful island of Tenerife. And of course, don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.